Now, let's say you do not have a live show in front of you. Well, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go out to the Centova server, which you all should have the link to. If not, get in touch with me, Dave, or Tom, and we'll get that to you. But if this is a new show, you should already have that in your startup packet. Now let me see if I have that on this system. I believe we're here. Now when you go to centova, you're going to enter the username and the password, which you were supplied to get into the server to activate and deactivate it for broadcasting. Once you're in the server, a couple things you want to pay attention to. Right up here, you'll notice source status is remote. If this says remote, it means there's a live show that's still on. Now, if they're on and they just hit disconnect and you're connecting, this doesn't matter to you. But if you're going here, just be sure this should say online just like this does. And normally if there's no live show in front of you, this will say online. The only thing in here you ever need to mess with or be concerned about is this last button that says activate source. Now normally if this is online, this button is going to say deactivate source, because what's happening is when this is online and this is online, it's playing encore shows. So you need to tell it stop playing encore shows. You do that by clicking this button that will normally say deactivate source. When you click that, and I can't go through that because there's a live show on, but when you click that button, a pop-up box is going to say, do you want to disconnect from the server? You hit yes, then it's going to say server successfully disconnected. As soon as you do that, you have got to have this box up ready to hit connect. You've got about 15 seconds from the time you say OK disconnect to hit this connect button and start streaming. If you take longer, if you don't have this box up and you have to go through and enter these settings, you're going to jam up the server, and the only way to restart it after that is to stop the server entirely. So be sure you've got this ready to go whenever you're here. Now, if there's a show on before you and you don't have to go here, they tell you when to hit connect, you hit here and you go. Well, there may not be a show on after you. Once you're done, this button will say disconnect. Once you're actually connected and streaming, you hit your disconnect button and then you come over here. This will now say activate just like it does now because it's actually offline remotely right now. So then once you come back, you click activate, that restarts the server. Very, very important. You're responsible as a show host. If you do not have a show coming on after you, you must come here and reactivate the server. If you don't, Para X will be sitting with dead air until one of us comes in and restarts it. Do not let that happen. Always be responsible to come back here if you know there's no show on after you, or if you're not sure there's a show on after you, if you're not communicating with someone to tell them when you're stopping and they're starting, come back here, reactivate the source. Hopefully this has showed you guys how you need to set these things up in order to be able to broadcast. Any questions, please get with myself, Dave, or Tom, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you and good night.